laps of the race, and that was obviously Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc. Yeah, Charles Leclerc, when he was in P3 and he was battling with Piastri, and he let Piastri through because he wanted to be, let's say, smart, let's say, and try to be clever and to overtake him in the other corner of the track. But that didn't work because he spun. He spun, which caused problems to his car. That led to him going off the track 4 times. And that is a big reason why he got a 20-second time penalty. People say it's not the right penalty. No, it's a fair penalty because he went off the track 4 times. He went. Yeah, exactly. Criticism. Yeah, and Leclerc. Yeah, Leclerc. Yeah. Maybe he might got pissed off because he thought that he could like let Piastri through, like I said, and then overtake him again, but that didn't work. So he cut the 4 corners, and not only that, that obviously he had a big gap over Russell and Verstappen, but because of his shenanigans, that let Verstappen and Russell back in. And then when Russell overtake him in that that last corner, if you see Leclerc, he was kind of the top left tire was kind of bouncing, bum bum bum, going up and down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the left round. Yeah, yeah. He could have finished P3, P4. So no, he finished P8. He finished P8. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got lucky. He got lucky because of the finishing the points, and Verstappen overtook him. 20-second time penalty for him. I mean, Leclerc. I mean, I know Ferrari maybe it might not be the fastest team, and Ferrari sometimes are not helpful in terms of strategy and so on. But like when you see this kind of mistakes from Leclerc, you question: is he really a driver that everyone says he is? And the answer is no. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. He's like he makes too many mistakes, and I agree. And yes, I understand if Leclerc leaves Ferrari. If he leaves Ferrari at some point, teams will look out to get him. But like even Leclerc is a very good driver. I mean, sometimes he can make like silly mistakes. I mean, not only that, and not only France 2022, as people like to mention it to me. Also, mistakes, in other occasions where, for example, in Miami qualifying years ago. Again, he did the same. Again, he did like a silly mistake. I mean, he could have finished P3, P4, and go home, and that's it. And Ferrari, and it wouldn't be a shame on him because Ferrari are not the fastest. They're not faster than Mercedes. They're not faster than McLaren. So it wouldn't be a shame if Leclerc finished P3, P4, but he tried to be clever, he tried to be smart, he tried to show, oh wow, okay, I'm Charles Leclerc here, hello, and yeah, oh yeah, 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 that could be a reason. Of course, that could be the reason why he, you know, maybe his concentration levels went down. But at the same time, even though Piastri overtook you, it doesn't mean that it should affect you to should make you to spun and cut the corners 4 times and make the silly mistakes that he was doing. So yeah, I mean Leclerc he has to look at himself and say, you know, I really effed it up, and he did really effed it up with the silly mistakes that he made. I think, you know, like you know, because maybe like you said, Muhammad, because maybe he's not fighting for a championship, because let's say he's not, how do you say, but maybe because he's not English, that's why he's not getting enough criticism. Because let's be honest, because let's be honest, if as you said, if Lando was making this kind of mistakes, if George was making this kind of mistakes, even Lewis, if he was making this kind of mistakes, they would get like hammered. But maybe because of the difference on nationality, that's the difference. Because and I understand why, because obviously British media are heavily involved in F1. But anyway, like Leclerc, like that is very bad mistakes for him to do it. Very bad mistakes, and yeah, sometimes when you look at Leclerc, he's a very good driver. He's a very good driver. But when people say that, oh, he's a driver that deserves at least one championship. No, I don't agree. I don't agree, because he can make silly mistakes, and also in wet races, I never thought that Leclerc is a great wet driver. Never. Yeah. When you look at the current drivers on the current grid, who are great in the wet races, I look at Lewis Hamilton, I look at Max Verstappen, I look at Lando Norris, I look at even Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri at times he can do well in wet races. Not George Russell, not Charles Leclerc. No, because again, like they haven't shown that they can cope with the difficult moments. And this is, I think, same thing for Charles Leclerc. When on his day, he can be he can do really well and he can win races on his day, right? And in qualifying, he's fantastic. But when the pressure is really on, when when you have to get your get your shit together, let's say, and when things are going against you, he doesn't cope with it really well. He doesn't cope with it really well, and he tends to make unforced errors, and this was one of them. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Mhm. A couple of final questions before we end the podcast. I mean, Lewis Hamilton was again a very poor performance from him. I mean, he started the season quite well in Australia and China, and you think like, okay, he might get his mojo back to some extent, but his performance this weekend was way off the pace. I mean, he was recently on a niggle with Max Verstappen, and then very quickly he finished 8 seconds behind him, which was very strange, and he was way off the pace of Leclerc in the sprint and in the race. Like, it was a really poor weekend from his side. So, like I said, like, it was a really poor weekend from Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he was way off the pace of Leclerc, and when he was had a bit of a niggle between him and Verstappen in the sprint, he very quickly finished 8 seconds behind him in an inferior car. Let's be honest, because Ferrari is a better car than Red Bull, and he had a he had a very poor weekend in general, Lewis Hamilton. So you're talking about Hamilton, or? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand he had issues, but could you not think he could have performed well a bit more? He could have done better, considering he was way off the pace. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. So it's a kind of so it's a track specific then. Mhm. Okay. Final question before we end the show. Mohammed bin Sulayem, who's a kind of course, a very controversial FIA president by many people's means. He said that F8 engines will come back to Formula One by 2030 or 2031. What do you think of this news, Mohammed? Do you think that's there's, obviously a lot of people like V8, V10s. Do you think this V8 will make Formula One better going forward? Obviously, it's we're far away from 2030, 2031. But do you think this change will be very helpful for Formula One? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean V8s. I mean, I love V8. I love V10s. I mean, they are, obviously V8. I was watching it from 2010 to 2013, where obviously Sebastian Vettel was doing really well for Red Bull. And it makes the car louder, as you said, Mohammed. Also, it brings, let's say, exciting racing as well. So, I mean, I prefer V10 over V8, to be honest. But V8 also you know, would be a very good step in direction for Formula One going forward. That's it, guys. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed our episode, and see you next week or the week after, because obviously there is a 3-week break from now on until Canada. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you, Muhammad, and have a nice day. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye.